Hello there, everybody. This is Joke Staria, and welcome to another episode of Crossover Battles. So we're going into the sixth episode. We have any double characters, was actually entirely being and non-singers that they would kick off for everyone else. And here we go for now. So we're getting the Kate Ashby one character. It's Nick Ashby versus the one asterisk character was actually the Smithmonger is Fulliautomatix. Starting off with Nick Ashby. The Nicholas Peter Ashby was Kate Ashby's husband and Kyra's dad. He was a hero for his lawful adventures. He wears the gray shirt and blue pants and his black shoes. He sometimes wears a blue shirt and a blue pants and his pajamas. He was voiced instantly by the one Microsoft Graham. But a little bit for his police days, he actually works with his old friend Aaron Jackson as a police officer at the City of Perry Police Department. And due to his appearance, he was actually kind of young, and when the little Kate Ashby was at the elementary school, before Nick gives him to shut her up and calls her an idiot, before he was even younger. Even in appearances from the last 15 episode, he was now to be grown up as a police officer after Kate Ashby was free from prison after sentenced 25 years for her murder of her grandmother. And sometimes by Nick Ashby does take over of his anger issues because Kate Ashby became absolutely the worst singer that ever listened to Life is a Roller Coaster. This is what I talked about in episode 3. And Nick Ashby would used to knock the other worst persons by punching them to death, stabbing them to death, and shoot them with his gun. And Nick Ashby ever did to join his lawful adventures as a heroic, he would know everything him was being forceful to become the real personnel of his officers. Fulliautomatix is created in original series of 1959 of Asterix the French comics of his first volume. Fulliautomatix is a village smithmonger. His father was a semi-automatics, was a village smith before him. He is tall and robust and very strong. He is one of the strongest characters, perhaps the second only to Obelix, and of the ruffian, especially to Cacophonix. Fulliautomatix's first appearance was in the first volume was Asterix the Gaul, where the Roman spy was amazed that he uses his fist to forge iron. However, to subsequently showing using a normal hammer, he is now rarely seen without one. A very different looking. Fulliautomatix appeared in Asterix and the Banquet, in which he and Obelix argued to who should be entitled to punch the Roman that they are both engaged in hating anyway. Fulliautomatix interacts with the unhygienics, the fishmonger, with whom he has a friendly rivalry. Fulliautomatix claims the fish he sells are stale, and this often results in unhygienics throwing the fish at his face, causing a fight. Sometimes other villagers join the fight and just for fun. Fulliautomatix also takes great pleasure in abusing, breaking the lyre of Cacophonix the bard, threatening him and hitting him on his head in merest hint, breaking to a song. He also hits Cacophonix with his hammer as well too. The songs are so bad that the other villagers do not object. This happens so frequently that Cacophonix only protests about it if he had intended to sing in the first place, such as Asterix and Cleopatra, where it turned out Cacophonix just wanted to tell Fulliautomatix that he was stepping on Cacophonix's toes, which Fulliautomatix was unaware of due to the courage show or snow covering their feet. It has been stated that he is perhaps the ancestor of all the music critics. On the other hand, he is essentially beaten up with a cane by geriatrics when he is provoked by some comment the smith makes. When this happens, he will often take out his frustration on the nearest convenient bystander, Cacophonix for preference, on the grounds that he does not feel he can fight back against someone so old, which only helps to further insist the old man. Fulliautomatix has 2 children to be unnamed, who were appeared in separated comics such as his son with the blonde hair in Asterix and Corsica, the daughter inclusive with blondie hair, the Asterix and the Secret Weapon, including the Asterix in the Great Divide. He's shown having appetines, though it's not specified if he's relative to some speculate that his young son grown to the teenage years, while the chieftain's daughter, a young man resembling him, is introduced as his eldest son Fulliautomatix in Asterix's birthday golden book. Fulliautomatix is seeing elderly man, with his now adult son having taken over the business. The scene begins with his son making steel dentures for Fulliautomatix, who has gone toothless over the years. So now the battle's about to start for between them, and let's see who would be entitled to battle for against for another. And while we do fight up, so let's talk about the abilities. Nick Ashby was actually having his beating them to death, including stabbing them to death with his own knife, and including his gun, which he could stop them because he is only to be a heroic person in his lawful adventures. While Fulliautomatix was not much of it because he's very personality strongest person that could hit someone with his hammer. Even he could also hit Cacophonix as well during his attention anger issues of Cacophonix's bad singing. So the fight is about to start for 80 minutes, and the winner is going to be Nick Ashby. Nick Ashby is most brilliant person to stop Kate Ashby's singing than Fulliautomatix stopping Cacophonix from singing, because these two characters are not the same of their bad sings within the size, because that was been told for Nick Ashby, who was actually most brilliant to his strongest, including Fulliautomatix. And so by now, this will be one personnel instead for any suggested, because Nick was been working as a policeman, having his quiet time, especially day off from his work, including his daughter Kayara, and including his wife Kate Ashby, does not get into trouble. Including his spending time with Aaron Jackson, whether is at the work or not at work, including his watching of comedy TV shows. But Fulliautomatix, much of his then, because he spends his lifetime to work his forging weapons as metalsmith, as well as he's working every day. After that, his father just died after he became the village smith that just ever before him. And so this will be his argument with all hygienics, the fishmonger. It's not very much of the same as is much for any interruption. And most of times, Fulliautomatix would always appear in other Asterix comics and sometimes films as well too. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed for the next video. Please subscribe and keep it for next episode of Crossover Battles. Once you subscribe, please do not forget to bell a notification on, because I would keep more for any videos to upload for even more so. And then I'll be back for you guys sooner again. So see you next time, and I'm out.